All right. So that was Jerry Lewis from the Jerry Lewis Telethon, 1975. And if I thought I could bring in $18 million for the Faculty Council Stream-a-thon, I would offer to drop my pants as well for that good cause. But it's unlikely. How much do you, ladies? How much do you think I could bring in if I threatened to drop my pants on the Stream-a-thon?
Unfortunately, I still don't think it would be $18 million.
would be worth it. The FCC violation. So today on What's Going On, I'm your host Hugo Fernandez here at LaGuardia Web Radio WLGR. It's our second show today, special time 2:30, and we're talking about the Faculty Council Stream-a-thon, and I have the members of the committee with me here. This is in anticipation of our second annual Faculty Council Stream-a-thon, which will be this Thursday, April 28th. And on the committee is the Faculty Council Secretary, Dr. Tara Coleman of the English Department, Dr. Walter Sistrunk, who hopefully will be joining us late, of the Education Language Acquisition Department, and our own Dr. Jamie Riccio of the Humanities Department, who is the station director of LaGuardia Web Radio and a co-producer of the Stream-a-thon. Welcome, doctors.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Glad to be
It's
here.
nice to be on the other side of things.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's because Dr. Coleman's been on the show a few times now and talked a little bit about her background. And you know this, Jamie, from many shows, participating with many shows, is I usually like my guests talk a little bit about their background and their studies before coming to LaGuardia. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. All right. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. This is fun to kind of be on the hot seat, as it were, getting the questions.
Like it. What is it?
Yeah.
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Yeah. So so as you mentioned, so I am a faculty member in the humanities department. So get to see you, Hugo, on the reg in the office, and I teach in the communication studies program. I was hired by LaGuardia in 2015, and I teach mostly the media classes in the communication studies program, kind of some of the radio stuff, right? But focusing particularly on kind of the digital side of things. So that's where my background is. And so I actually did my undergraduate work in radio, television, and film production, which then brought me to a short stint at Comedy Central, and then onward from there to Syracuse University, where I did my master's and PhD in mass communication and media studies, respectively, and kind of started getting more into not so much the production side and the behind the scenes, but into the research side, and kind of really diving into how the media that we love impacts us, and we impact it in turn. And it's really great actually to be at LaGuardia doing the web radio station, because it's kind of this amalgamation of the things that I love, the passion that got me into kind of the area of communication studies, as it were, and that production side of things, and then kind of the new media, the technology, the digital side of things, which is where I do most of my research. So being web radio or being involved with web radio is a great kind of combining of that. And of course, in terms of the Stream-a-thon, this is year 2. So I know we at the radio station are really psyched. I'm psyched and grateful to be a part of it again. So shout out Tara and everybody else on the faculty council for inviting us to be involved again.
Right, and Tara, we talk about this is the second annual, but it is also probably the final Stream-a-thon, right?
Right, because we started this last year. Luckily the year that COVID hit in spring 2020, we had already done the faculty council auction that previous December, as we used to right after the professional staff meeting. But in fall 2021, obviously professional staff didn't happen in person, and so we did the first Stream-a-thon the following spring as a way of kind of replacing the fundraising. And this year again, COVID continues to disrupt our plans, but we hope that by next fall, we'll be back to something closer to the old auction. At this point, we have some different ideas about how, we might, move forward and kind of take what was great about the old auction and maybe add some new components as well. So we'll see. But yeah, this was intended to be a sort of temporary change due to COVID, although it's been fun and great and actually brought out some really interesting, new insights into our community. So it was great to do it again another year.
Well, last year, I mean, we didn't break the record, but we came pretty close to the highest income total of the faculty council fundraiser. Is that not correct?
Yeah, I think we raised about 5,200 last year, which was way beyond our target. Yeah, definitely in recent years, we haven't come close. We've heard that back in the day of the faculty council auction, occasionally around 5,000. So yeah, probably not record breaking, but close to it, and definitely far surpassing our expectations from last year. So that was really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we had it. We had an we set a total, and I can't remember what it was. I think we added up all the scholarships, and we said, okay, this will be the number. If we could fund every scholarship that we currently offer, that was the number, and then we exceeded that number considerably. And I think I'd made a remark about every dollar we collected after that would go towards COVID relief for student. Which I think we did do. We put that money towards books, right, or something like that.
Yeah, some of it went towards purchasing some textbooks for the library. Obviously, especially during COVID, there was a lot of strain on the library in terms of providing textbooks for students. I think some of it went to some of the more popular textbooks, and we've also expanded the number of scholarships that we offer. So now we have two new scholarships that weren't offered before COVID that we're able to fund because of the additional money that we raised.
All right. Well, so I mean, I guess I'll be sad to see it go, but in the same breath, it's been a lot of work, and I think this year it seemed like a lot more work. Does it seem like more work than last year to either one of you?
I think so, a little bit. Yeah.
Dr. Riccio spent her entire spring break editing this. How long is it by now? How many hours is it at this point?
So we're on track for similar to last year. So right around the 3-hour mark in terms of the final product.
Right.
But I know there was a lot of, not just the editing, but I know Tara, you did just a ton of chasing down too, of, trying to get videos, because it was the process of, the first time it's novel, right? And it's cool. And people are like, oh, I could send these cool things that I do in my spare time or my hobbies. And then kind of the second time it's like, oh, okay, I got to record something again, or, I have to have a fresh take on this. So I know, Tara, you did a lot of extra work too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it speaks to the moment that we're in now. I think, we're back in person in, a large part of our job. And so I think, last year when people were home and they were kind of still in their COVID hobbies, there was more of a willingness or ability or time to do a quick video for us. But now, we're sort of commuting, but then we're also teaching some of us, online classes from home. And so we're sort of double working in some cases. And I think it was just a little harder for some people who, may have wanted to submit something to find the time. It's been a busy year. So yeah, it was definitely a little extra arm twisting this year compared to last year. I think what that forced us to do actually is to think about other ways that we could, get content for this event. And so we've actually got a lot more student work featured this year, which has been really great. And so we've, gone back to some of those recordings of Zoom events that have happened and some other work that's taken place. And we may not have done that if we hadn't had to get a little creative. So I'm actually really excited about that part.
Yeah, what would you say the breakdown is of the types of videos that we're offering this year, as in percentages, would you say?
That's a really good question. I think I agree with Tara. We have a larger proportion of student videos this year than we did last year, for sure. I still think we have majority faculty and staff videos. So I'd say if I had to give a percentage, I would maybe put 70-30 or 80-20 or something, right? But I think last time we had really just a handful of student videos. I mean, I could count them on one hand. And this time we do have substantially more, which has been really cool to see. And, I know for myself, And I think I could speak for Chris a bit too, who's obviously also helping on this as working with the radio station. Seeing those videos and kind of getting to see the cool things that our students are doing, it has been really, really neat.
Tara, did you want to chime in? I mean, you created the repository for it, the Dropbox, and you've been like checking twice. You're the follow-upper of for folks who made promises, some that were kept, some that were not.
Yeah, I think, we definitely have definitely more faculty, but again, I think, last year it was a lot of just what folks were doing at home, kind of what we had originally envisioned, which was their talents or new hobbies based on COVID. But now we have some videos of presentations that faculty have done at campus events, and a different range of materials. So I think it'll be a different kind of show this year than last year, which is good, because if you're doing something again, you want to offer something different. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, we're trying to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say one of the other things that I think is cool too, kind of touching on what you're talking about, Tara, is the videos from events, right, that we've gotten from kind of events that faculty have done, some of them on campus, but also off campus, right, and like performances that they've done at various locations around the city, and we even have some old televised footage from some staff members on campus. So it's like we have there's a variety of videos, I think, this time around it's a little bit of a greater variety than last time, right? As Tara was saying, kind of the talent show side of things. This time you get like a little bit of everything, which is really neat.
Yeah, we also this time we did more promotion videos than we did last time, and what's going to be a little special treat for those who are right now. I'm seeing we have 2 people watching right now live. But people who will watch this show in the archive, is we've got some promos that didn't quite make it to the promo because we were so busy working to just get all the stuff and splice it together that Dr. Riccio didn't have time to do post-production on some videos. So our engineer, Mr. Pope, is going to share the first video now, which has to do with our backup band, which was, what do we call him? W Square. Okay.
W Squared.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Take it away, Mr. Pope.
Okay, so we're behind the scenes here at the Stream-a-thon with our backup band. Which, wait a minute, did I get that? You guys are W2. What is it? Is that the
W Squared?
W Square. Okay, like this. W Squared.
No. Superscript, man. Square root.
Okay, I didn't think there was going to be any math in this promo, but take it away, Mixmaster, Dr. Funk.
I don't know if that was the best cut from that. We did some multiple takes, and I guess Dr. Funk decided whatever it is. Which, by the way, Dr. Funk. When I say Dr. Funk, I mean Will Fulton, Dr. Will Fulton from the humanities, music performance area, who was our turntablist, and again Walter Sistrunk, Dr. Sistrunk, who's supposed to be on the show right now with us. We don't know what happened. He's the MC, and I don't know if I've even seen any of those performances. I think how'd they do, Dr. Riccio?
Oh, the W Squared performances, they're fabulous. Yeah, I mean, obviously shameless plug for everybody to check out W Squared on the in the Stream-a-thon on Thursday. But yeah, really, I'd be really happy to have him back as the house band if we do this again.
Well, when Dr. Coleman was talking about changing the format, I was thinking like, wow, well, what maybe we should have a stage and performances, and we can talk up the the silent auction would not be so silent.
We do like a talent show in
and
person.
We could have Dr. Funk as the house band mix mastering back there.
Love it.
Okay, so one of the things I noticed also there are fewer recipes this year. I may be the only recipe this year. What as far
We had a few.
we did?
We had a few recipes. Yeah,
Trying to
yeah.
remember.
But it was again,
other-
it was a little bit less than last year too, because that was again one of the common things that people were. I almost did the same thing, and then I was like, oh, there's always a few recipes, so I didn't. It's like it's a great way to showcase a particular talent or something that you really want to share. Recipes are wonderful. So, but yeah, this time we definitely have less. I think there's 3 recipes in total, including yours. So, for anyone who's listening either live or in the archive, Hugo's recipe is broken up into a multitude of parts throughout the Stream-a-thon. So I'm counting that as one video. Although if we counted all of them, then we would have 19 recipe videos. But I think
They're
that's
discreet.
just counting as
They're short. I mean, I show you how to make how to turn the rice yellow. I think that takes all of about 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's good. No, we like the short snippets. I think one of the things we had this time, we had we had some more interviews this year. I know, Tara, you did a number of interviews that were great. And so we had kind of these longer interviews, and then kind of it's great to have the little recipe snippets, right, to break these things up. So yeah, it came out nice.
I was going to say, because Tara, when you started this whole thing, it always felt like you were going to be the behind the scenes, kind of organizing stuff. And you've really, one of the things that's happened is you've been forced to step forward. I think you have more airtime than I do, as far as particularly, and you're actually pretty good at it, interviewing these people about the various grants and the various scholarships, and this year what we have a lot of is former winners, right? Where you actually interviewed a lot of these students.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, yeah, I always try to actually spend as less, the least amount of time on air as possible. But this time it turned out to be a little differently, because I love talking to students, and apologies if I know some of those interviews ended up a little long, but I was just really fascinated to hear from them, and just to hear about not only what they did, in terms of a research paper or whatever that they wrote to apply for the scholarship, but just where they're at in their program. And, and a couple of them, students were sharing a bit about what it was like to be attending LaGuardia through COVID. Some of them, almost their entire time at LaGuardia has been on and off situations of the pandemic. And so just, talking to them a little bit and hearing what the scholarships mean to them in terms of recognizing their hard work just means it is a great opportunity that we've had because of the Stream-a-thon in this format to actually hear from those students. It's not something that we used to do in the past. The faculty council would raise money for the scholarships, and the scholarships would be distributed, and we would never really follow up with the students because a lot of times they would receive the scholarship and move on. But now I can, Zoom with them even if they've already transferred to somewhere else and just talk to them for 5 minutes and hear about it. So that's been really great, and it's made us as a council discuss a possibility of having some kind of more live scholarship acknowledgement ceremony of some kind in the future, whether it's virtual or in person or not, because, the students aren't always still on campus by the next semester, but still, some way to continue that connection with the students that we're supporting. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, here's a piece of institutional memory. All right. Because I remember, I think this was even before I was full time, but I would go to, maybe I was full time already, but I would go to our humanities department meetings, and they would talk about the fact that they would have an event to give out the scholarships, and you wouldn't necessarily get folks showing up because, again, for whatever reasons, whether it's because it's night and they couldn't make it and things like that. But if you could make it happen, by all means.
Yeah, I mean, we do it in the English department. We have an award ceremony at the end of every year for our own students. And it's a really amazing event. And actually, the first spring of COVID, when that event happened, there were tears in the eyes of most of the participants, faculty and students alike, because, it was just really touching to hear from the students. And, they would speak to the faculty who were there, who had guided them. And it was just a really amazing thing. And, obviously there's a lot of personal relationships there to build on in that kind of event. But I just think it's a great way for the students, especially, to have a chance to kind of be acknowledged publicly, rather than just getting an email like, hey, you won this thing.
Yeah, it may have been something where it was mixed up with some other kinds of, I mean, there's a lot, like you said, there are a lot of different scholarships, and maybe it was all put together and it was just too long.
Yeah.
One thing I'm going to talk about that you produced this year, which is I'm looking forward to seeing because I haven't watched it yet, is a video about Dr. Arcario retiring. How did that go?
Well, I have to give credit to you, committee. It was your idea. Maybe it was Jamie. It was your idea to actually offer a scholarship in honor of Dr. Arcario as he's retiring. And we brought that idea to the council, and Dr. Rochelle Isaac, who's the president of Faculty Council, suggested to make that scholarship an LGBTQIA plus focused scholarship, which Dr. Arcario was really touched to be honored in that way, and also with our idea about the theme. And so we decided to, as part of launching the scholarship, we also wanted to create a tribute to him and to thank him for his work, not just, as provost, but as interim president during COVID, and especially the contributions he made to faculty governance, elevating our role at the college, and, bringing faculty council president and the Senate chair into his cabinet as interim president, which, as we know, President Adams has maintained. There was a lot that he did that we wanted to say thank you to. So, luckily, with the help of Institutional Archives, Thomas Cleary, and also the team in marketing communications, we were able to dig up some old photos of him and little photo montage video to thank him. So yeah, definitely tune in and check that out. It was fun to look through those and put that together.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to Chris too, Pope, our engineer, who was a part of those meetings and a part of that discussion, and I think recommendation as well, that the idea of, now having done this and kind of seen what works in some of the in the Stream-a-thon and some of the videos that have been put together in the past, that it's a really nice touchstone kind of video for an end of course scholarship. Dr. Arcario.
Yeah, and I mean, you're saying that the idea came from the committee, and so, but it couldn't have been mine, because usually I remember when it's my idea, because I want to keep credit for it. So it must have been somebody else's idea in the meeting. That's a good one.
It's
I mean,
great.
maybe I did come up with it. I mean, that sounds like something I'd say. I like, but well, that's when it's a good one.
It's a team effort at the end of the day.
Exactly. Imagine what we would accomplish if nobody worried about who got the credit, right? But,
exactly.
So.
Yeah, about this scholarship, we don't have an institutional support in place for this population of students right now at the college. But obviously, as we know, a lot of work has been done around the college in recent years around supporting and making more visible our LGBTQ students. So, and actually, one thing a lot of people may not know is that Dr. Arcario requested that we add his late partner, Don Walker, to the name of the scholarship in order to give him acknowledgement for all of the support that he provided to Paul during his time at LaGuardia. And so we, of course, agreed to do that. And so I think it's a meaningful thing for him, and also for us to kind of acknowledge, and also to make his role at the college more visible. So we're really happy, and we look forward to seeing some of the great applications that hopefully we'll be getting from our students in the next couple of months.
So it's the Paul and Don Scholarship.
Yeah, it's called the Paul Arcario and Don Walker LGBTQIA plus Scholarship. It's a bit of a long name, but we thought it was worth it.
Yeah, it'll be good. It's funny because when I was shilling and trying to get folks from the humanities department to give scholarships, I was saying like, hey, and we can come up with our own scholarship, and because I know the arts folks used to donate a lot of art, and Bruce Brooks at the time used to say, yeah, but then none of our students get a scholarship. But there is no John Williams scholarship, right?
There is. Mm-hmm.
There is. So that's what I thought. So I was confused, because I know that we've dedicated the music area that is to John Williams, who was one of our early faculty here at LaGuardia, who was instrumental in the music program and theater program as well. and we also have a scholarship from. So I was talking out of school. I didn't even realize that humanities does have a scholarship, and that one focuses on, is it musical ability?
Yeah, the music performance program selects the winners, so I'm not exactly sure what the criteria are. In last year's Stream-a-thon, we had a great interview that Tom Dempsey set up about John Williams and his contributions to the college. So that was really cool. So if anyone missed that, they can check the recording from last year. But it was more about where the scholarship came from and the program and the students. I can't remember if they went through the criteria. They may have, but that was a while ago. So we've tried to feature, between the 2 years, last year and this year, we've tried to feature each of the scholarships at least once, so that we talk with folks who are involved in running them about where they came from and what their criteria are, but also in general kind of what their purpose is. So between the 2 years, we've covered them both. So we have a video this year with Professor Kyle Holler-Gregory from Social Science about the Racial Justice Scholarship that he led the launch of last year. And so he's talking to the previous winner. So we're trying to kind of introduce what these scholarships are besides a name that's just on the website.
Right. Put faces to the names, or faces to the work. I'm actually gonna take a quick station break now. The show is What's Going On. I'm your host, Hugo Fernandez, here on LaGuardia Web Radio, WLGR, and we're talking to the Faculty Council Stream-a-thon Committee in anticipation of our second annual Faculty Council Stream-a-thon this Thursday, April 28th. The committee includes our Faculty Council Secretary, Dr. Tara Coleman of the English Department, Dr. Walter Sistrunk, who is AWOL here from the Education and Language Acquisition Department, and our own Dr. Jamie Riccio of the Humanities Department, Station Director of LaGuardia Web Radio, which is a co-producer of the Stream-a-thon. So before we move into the second half hour, our engineer, Mr. Pope, hopefully has queued up our second video of the with W Square.
All right, we are again behind the scenes here of the Stream-a-thon with our backup band, with Dr. Funk, turntablist extraordinaire, spinning the hits. And I've never tried this. Would it be okay if
Whoa. No. Pros only, man. Pros only.
I thought we had a relationship here. I thought,
W squared, okay? All right, Will.
I thought you were W cubed.
Bring the beat back.
Yeah.
Okay, that was better. I found that I found myself chuckling. The first one wasn't as funny as I remembered it, but the second one was a little bit better. We're obviously not actors here.
I was going to say, Hugo, I'm not sure that any of these promos are quite as funny to others as we think they are, but we've had fun making them.
Wait till you see the next one. All right.
We definitely had some moments where I think everybody was laughing hysterically, and then we go back and watch it later and be like, that was really, really funny in the moment. And if you're behind the scenes, you definitely get a laugh. But
I forgot who was saying. I think Tara said it. There was, at least we're having a good time making them, and
for sure.
Yeah, we've got our engineer Chris Pope is going Hugo Jon Snow. He enjoyed. And by the way, I will say this, that Professor Philip Gimber of the Health Sciences, our chair of Health Sciences, had sent me some sort of message. I don't know how, through LinkedIn or Facebook Messenger, saying that he had seen one of the Jon Snow, the one of me coming out of the garage, and he said, keep those coming. But I didn't know how to break it to him that, we were running out of time, that Dr. Riccio had to focus on editing the Stream-a-thon itself rather than doing the promos. But I did show it to some folks over the weekend who got a laugh out of it as well.
I'm still trying to show my husband these videos.
Yeah, he won't.
We'll do all these promos, and they're, and I like I said, we all think they're pretty hysterical. And I'm like, do you want to check them out? Do you want to check, Hugo put on a fur coat, and, I did slow-mo walking out of his garage with techno, Game of Thrones soundtrack in the background. He's like, nah, that's cool.
Yeah, he's the toughest audience.
He is. We know it's going to be good when we finally get.
Did you ever get a laugh out of him?
Yeah.
So I wanted to use this quarter hour to talk about, to create anticipation by talking about what we think are the videos that you're most excited to see premiered for the Stream-a-thon. I mean, I guess we've already talked about Dr. Arcario's kind of, whatever reel, whatever you call that, in the highlight reel. But what other videos? Because I think the two of you are probably the most familiar with what's going besides Chris and myself. So what's your favorite video that are you looking forward to seeing as part of the Stream-a-thon?
That's a tough one. Tara, you take it away.
I mean, do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first, Hugo. I'll have to
know
think.
what it is. I even say it in that my favorite is the rope. What is it, like the rope dance?
Aerial rope performance, Dr. Julian Koken from Health Science Department. Yeah.
I mean, she rocked the house last year with the whatever that was, that like Bushwick street drumming performance. But this year, totally took it a little Vegas-y too. It felt like like the Jerry Lewis telethon. I just think it's well, besides the fact that how much work goes into being able to do that, to perform that way, it just it's a lot of fun, and it gave us a little bit of a circus atmosphere, which I would love to work up into something. Maybe if we were going to do this next year, maybe I come in as a lion tamer next time, and people stick my head into a lion's head or something like that. But so that's mine. So maybe I don't know if I've stolen your thunder now, but
that's a good one. That's up there for sure.
I guess I'm going to give a shameless plug, because one thing I'm really excited about being able to share is some selections from the Women's Literary Salon, which we held at the end of March. It's something I've been involved in since I got to LaGuardia. This year was our 9th annual. Hugo, you've read before at the Salon, so I think you even streamed it.
I have sung because I usually show up with like some Joni Mitchell lyrics and then decide to sing them.
So it's a great event, and the last 2 years during COVID, one thing that we've done is had a creative writing showcase at the end in the evening. Well, not just creative writing; it's been a combination of creative writers and journalists, because some of our journalism classes have joined, and so it's always been really amazing to hear from our colleagues, to read their work, and also to hear students, engage with them, ask them questions about their writing, and so we pulled a couple of clips from some of the readings that happened this year. So it's just been nice to be able to share some of these events in a new setting, so that people who may not have attended or even, known that they happen, can see. So same with the films, student films from the Thompson Ave Film Festival, which I have always been so impressed by. They're really fantastic. And so being able to share a few of those for folks who may have missed them last year is pretty cool. So.
I was saying to Chris that seems like there's more poetry last year. I was actually attributing that to the fact of my promo about threatening to do my my undergraduate epic poem.
It's more me begging my colleagues to help us out.
So it's me lowering the bar, and
they're very jealous. I'm very generous with their time.
We have some good poems in there. Not. I hate to say it, Hugo. Not yours isn't one of them.
What's interesting is that with art, usually with art that you do, you put something in a drawer and you pull it out 10 years later. It usually looks better. This is the first time where I pulled something out and it's literally like, wow, this was really a stinker.
It's aged very poorly. This one.
I mean, the fact that I tried to make a faculty member read that, like my professor read that.
That's hilarious. It reads like some of my old diary entries back in high school.
So, Dr. Riccio, what you thought about it a little bit here?
Yeah. No, I mean it's so obviously I've been very immersed in these videos over the past few days, and it's so hard to choose like a favorite, but I also agree. I thought some of the Thompson Ave Film Festival submissions were super cool. I do like, again, this year that we have some of these submissions from events that a lot of folks maybe didn't get to attend or didn't get to see, and we're showing them in this new light. And I think that's really cool. I also we have some great musical performances. Dr. Nathan Hosanna, who was on this committee last year, submitted another video. He submitted one last year as well. And we have.
But last year he was skateboarding.
Yes. Yeah.
This year he's doing this performance, and I don't know if folks got a chance to see our live stream of. I don't know if people could see that, but when we were doing the event in the gym that he performed there, and I was like, do we have him as part? And I think you had told me, oh yeah, he sent a performance. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and then I also have to say another fave that came up was Director Andrew Walker, and his NBA playing performance game that was aired on television. That is a really neat, just a cool video as well that we have.
Well, I had to because I was working with him to try to get something. We were going to produce something with him. We were actually going to do some sort of demo in the gym. And so I had to watch that video, and I didn't realize what the significance of it was. It was the Pistol Pete Maverich's highest scoring game of all time, and the best part was that it was against the Knicks. So there were all these folks playing that I knew, including Phil Jackson, playing for the Knicks at that time because it was the late '70s. And but he
cool video.
But he's on the bench most of the game, so he comes in at the last. And for if people watch it, the fact that he congratulates Pistol Pete, and then he scores the winning basket, which is the nice apotheosis. Is that a good word for that? Since we have an English professor in the house.
I'll defer to Tara on that.
It was like a nice wow finish. Which is great. And he's such a humble guy. He never. And meanwhile, he's out there, playing with Phil Jackson and all these people. Pistol Pete Maverich, one of great players of all time. So yeah, that was good stuff. So, by the way, one thing I keep thinking about: have we made any videos to show people how to actually pay, how to actually donate money? Is that in the stream?
So we have the one from last year that I've been trying to find that I can't pull from the video from last year that gives the instructions. The hope is if I can't get that in there, that will you rely on the fact that everybody, that everyone who's here this year, maybe most of them saw it last year too and know. But yeah, so I'm in the process of trying to rip that because I somehow lost the original footage of the kind of how-to for the website. But it's largely self-explanatory, and the link is going to be scattered throughout the show. And so if you go to the website, and also we're going to put the link in the show description. I'm so used to saying this, like in the after the show meeting, like we're putting the link in the show description. So this episode, we're putting the donation link in the show description as well as the Faculty Council, Facebook page link where you can watch the Stream-a-thon. So you click on the link, you go there, and you just follow the prompts. And it's pretty straightforward. So we'll see if I can get that how-to video in there.
Yeah. We just encourage people to donate early and often.
Exactly.
Yes, the link is also in the announcement emails going out college-wide, so people can donate at any time. They don't have to wait till Thursday. They can donate now, or if you missed the event on Thursday, you can donate after. So it's definitely open from now until the end of the year, basically. And it's the same format if you've donated to like LaGuardia Cares or anything like that. It works the same. So most people should be familiar enough with the page by now that it shouldn't be too difficult, I would hope.
Yeah, and a big thank you to Jason Dauphine from the business office, who's really been on top of that and who assisted us last year, and is again, just got an email from him this morning saying like, hey, let me know what I can do. Everything's all set up, so we're ready to go with the donation site.
And what can he do? What else can he do for us that he hasn't done already? I was recommending sharing it with the foundation folks. I don't know how the president would feel about that. That we're going after his. It's like going into his fishing hole. But anyhow, so just give her. I'm thinking right now it's a tight week, so I might submit mine like on Friday morning when I get paid. But and will he be sending totals like he did last year, where he.
Yeah, so one of the things that was nice and that we plan on doing this year as well, and I'm going to reach out to him about this and follow up today, actually, as we're kind of prepping. These are all like the end stage kind of things, right? Is that when you're on the Facebook page, on the LaGuardia Faculty Council Facebook page, and you're watching the Stream-a-thon, we'll be sending updates of the total amounts in the chat. So the nice thing about the live stream is you get that ongoing chat where the link is going to be posted, we've met this mark, and so you could follow along really with the progress. And also it's a great opportunity to use the chat to kind of cheer on your friends and colleagues and students when you see their videos.
Yeah, it was really great last year. Actually, that was kind of an unexpected aspect of the Stream-a-thon. I was in my kitchen, if I remember, watching and also baking or something like that. And everyone was, posting in the comments and cheering each other on. And there was a lot of like fun collegiality and engagement. And it was a really great kind of community building event. Since even now, I feel like though we're back on campus and we still don't get too many opportunities for that across, especially outside of our departments or office spaces and so forth. So I'm excited for that, and I hope people will participate like they did last year if they're watching, so that we can know that you're there.
Are we gonna, for the promo, are we gonna list the folks whose videos they'll be seeing, so people will know who to look for, that they can look for them? Might be something, again, because last year we had
a promo.
I'm talking about when we send out, because Tara was talking about this. We're going to be sending out an email about, just to let folks know who's going to be on. Some of the starring. Blah blah blah. Just so people know who to watch for. I mean, I think last year one of the things that was interesting is we created a community by the virtue that a lot of the people that submitted videos also were watching, also were donating.
Mm-hmm.
And so, once again, if we don't have as many things coming from the faculty council, from faculty, we don't need to let them know that their colleagues are on there. By the way, we're at the last quarter hour, so I want to show this last video. Mr. Pope, show us this our last promo for W Square.
All right, so we're behind the scenes here at the Stream-a-thon with our backup band, W Square.
Yes.
Did I get that?
Yes.
All right. I used to actually do a little bit of breakdancing in my day. A little bit. Here, let me show you.
You okay, Hugo?
I'm gonna need a little help here. Okay, there you go. Thank you. So again, behind the scenes, Faculty Council Stream-a-thon. Oh.
All right. So I didn't drop my pants, but I did drop to the ground there.
You guys are having too much fun.
No, that one never quite made it to into the promo world. So people to watch that, they're gonna have to watch this, unless you mix it. I don't know.
I was gonna say we did this last year. Actually, we had a blooper reel. And so, some of these that we had, again, we had so many promos, and they had the kind of, I don't even know how the idea came to be, but it was the Hugo as Jon Snow, kind of Game of Thrones, the faculty Stream-a-thon the Faculty Council Stream-a-thon is coming theme. And then we had a few others. And so these, were kind of added on a little later. So they're going to be added into the kind of the fun blooper reel that we're going to make available. So we'll definitely have those available as a video separately, so people can relive the experience.
And if anyone missed the Hugo as Jon Snow videos, you can go back. If you go to the Faculty Council Facebook page, you can see all the previous promos are there. Oh, right. And also we have a video of our contract talks with Hugo to negotiate the terms of his agreeing to be
Hotly
the MC of
contested.
this event. So,
Yeah,
yes.
I was going to say those were heated. I felt like, Aaron Judge, having to play while the contracts are still being discussed. So
Yeah, we play
I'm
hard
glad
The value
over
of
here.
the contract.
I'm glad
the
we
value of the
settled that.
contract is slightly different, though, Hugo. I feel.
Yeah.
Well, again,
Yeah,
it's
and
gonna
again,
be $18 million to drop my pants.
yeah. Next time we're one of the videos is Hugo's complaining about M&Ms. So next time we're gonna mess with your M&Ms in the contract.
All right. Yeah. I can't even. The joke is I really enjoy green M&Ms. I love the green. So we're moving. We're in the last quarter hour, and we usually would take questions. I don't know if our other viewer is going to ask a question, but we can also talk about the future. But this is a little bittersweet because, again, it's unlikely we're going to do a stream-a-thon again. So what lessons can we take from this for fundraising for the faculty council or the faculty council in general moving forward?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think, as I mentioned, I think involving students in some way would be a great thing. I think connecting in a more communal way with what faculty do, either on campus or outside, has been really fun. I mean, I think one thing that was fun for the most recent auction that we did before COVID, aside from involving some more local businesses in the things that were being auctioned off, faculty always contribute things. Sometimes it's just items that they have around, but it's always the most fun when they're contributing things they've made or things based on, their own hobbies. Like I remember Dr. Chelsea Del Rio was submitted like a crochet, I think a hat or something like that she had made. So you get to see some people's talents. So I think if we focus more on that, I mean, I still have some items in my office from 2.5 years ago that didn't get auctioned off that now we don't know what to do with. So there's sort of like a push and pull between the old auction format and some of the good things that we had before, and hopefully we can build on that connection to faculty talent or hobbies or whatever it is that's kind of more interesting, and do something more around that in the future. I don't know, we'll see.
I know it's not a poinsettia, right? The poinsettias always sell.
Yeah, the flowers definitely was a major part of it before, and we definitely, if we go back to the old time in terms of doing it after professional staff, I'm sure that the flower sale will be part of it. I know a lot of people miss that, not being able to purchase those during COVID. So, but we'll see. I mean, President Adams also hasn't necessarily been adhering to the professional staff meeting kind of timetable in the past. Whether that meeting takes a different form in the future, I don't know. And so we'll have to also look and see, what kinds of college-wide meetings we have next year and when would be a good time to offer this event.
When you were talking, I was thinking of a couple of things. One is to literally have a talent show where we'd have an event like a cafe kind of atmosphere,
Mm-hmm.
where there would be an admission, and that would go, those funds would go to the faculty council, but people, faculty could perform live whatever they qualify as talent. Where I'd probably have to just MC for that one. I think I couldn't cook on stage. The other thing that came was, I've always joked about, is like win a dream date with this faculty member. So each faculty member, based on what their focus is or their interest on, would come up with an activity, and people would bid, and you would go. Like my thing would be, I'd take you to the Met, and we'd walk through an exhibition, and I'd talk about it. Then we'd go have lunch in the Met Cafe, or Dr. Anna Maria Hernandez, she loves to go to the Metropolitan Opera. So, your dream date with her would be, go to the Metropolitan Opera, and then drinks at whatever. I don't know what the restaurants are by the opera. She would know.
Mm-hmm.
Just anything from you, Dr. Riccio?
Yeah, no, I think, going forward, in terms of certainly my role and the role of the radio station, is that whatever format that the way of raising funds for the scholarships takes going forward, that we want to be a part of it. We're happy to be a part of it. I think if things happen in person. Maybe there is some kind of a talent show, right? We may not stream it, or maybe we will. Who knows, right? We could show up with our equipment. We have a portable stuff, and we can record it and put it on the archive so people can, see what kind of what has gone on. We could stream it live, from campus if we did something like that, right? Or again, as Tara was mentioning, bringing students in some way, and we're happy to be involved in doing like a student showcase or discussion of the scholarships and their experiences, and putting together a video and showing that at the auction. So whatever format this takes going forward, I think that we're really just grateful and excited to be a part of it, to have been a part of it, and I know, speaking for myself, and again I think speaking for Chris, we'd love to continue that relationship and continue going and taking an active role. So yeah, that's really.
And I just want to jump in and say thank you to Jamie and to Chris and to you, Hugo. I mean, Hugo is part of the University Faculty Senate, but he's not a faculty council officer, and he didn't have, you all have put so much time into this event in the last 2 years, and obviously, clearly we couldn't have done it without you because we don't have the capacity. And so just the fact that you volunteered last year and then you agreed to do it again this year, it's been great to work with you all, but also I think it's just become so much, when we were playing around with ideas, I think it's become a much more interesting and fun event than we even imagined, and that's really a testament to all of your creativity and your time. And I just want to say thank you for helping us maintain this important tradition, at the college through this time. So thank you to all of you.
I mean, I took it as a dare. Again, it was one of my ideas that came up, and people, as I remember, people did not like our chances. So I thought it was important to see what we could do.
People came up with the idea, but then it was sort of like, are we actually going to be able to pull this off? And so we really just appreciate your contributions, and I would love to see something like what Jamie just described going forward. I think it would be really fun, and I think I also just love the idea that these last 2 years events are there for posterity. So 20 years from now, I saved all of my emails from March and April of 2020 in an archive, because I figure someday it might be really interesting to go back and look at it. But it'll be really interesting for the college to have that. We're putting it in the institutional archive, and someday students will, doing some archival research will probably watch this event. And
my God, what was this? What were they thinking?
What's Hugo wearing?
Yeah, exactly. One of the things I was going to say is that while Dr. Riccio was talking, I was thinking that it would one thing that we could do, like let's say we did stream the auction this Christmas, right, or this holiday season, that if we could figure out a way so that the auction could be done as a kind of an online auction, and people watching could actually bid. I'll say, so what's on the auction block, and for example,
Hugo, you're still gonna show up with your tuxedo and be like,
yeah,
over
exactly.
in corner 3, like Vanna Whiting the items.
Were you there for the Humanities Open House that I did in a tuxedo?
I believe so. Yeah.
Were you there for that?
For those listening who can't see the video, Hugo's wearing the tuxedo now, just in case. I don't know if that was mentioned, but
it's
he's very
not
dedicated.
pretty. I had a notion I was going to take off pieces of it as we went along after each video, to kind of like the way Jerry kind of by the end of the telethon was always, just a mess. But I'm just thinking, because again, people who would be watching the stream could also bid. And then they could just PayPal you the money, and you'd be done, or whatever we do now, Venmo, whatever it is. So we're almost out of time. We got about 4 minutes, and we got 2 more minutes of a little video of Jerry. So I want to give the two of you a last chance. Any last words or thank yous or shout outs you'd like to do before we go?
I mean, I'd just like to shout out to everyone who shared material with us for this year. We're obviously really grateful to folks for sharing their talents and their time, taking the time to record something, or being willing to let us reuse things that they had presented in a different setting. It's been a really busy semester for everyone as we, move more and more back in person. And so to everyone who we reached out to and who volunteered to share stuff with us, and also to the students who took the time to talk to us, even if they've moved on or they're about to graduate or whatever it is that they're doing, We're just really, really grateful. And thanks in advance also to those who donate. Last year, people were really generous with their donations, and we sent you individual emails, but we just really were so blown away by people's generosity. So just thank you to everyone for their participation.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I think those are, first and foremost, the people who contributed, and the people who donated, who will be donating, the people who, just stop by and watch. Again, with this being a public Facebook link, share it with your friends and family. Like, people who are not a part of the LaGuardia community can be a part of the LaGuardia community. And so, yeah, advance shout outs and thank yous to those folks, and definitely big thanks to everyone who submitted. And again, thank you to Tara and everyone on the faculty council for, inviting us to be a part of it. Hugo, for your unending, glamour as an MC, and an extra big thank you to Chris,
Yes.
who's also been putting up with me, with my head exploding as it gets down to the wire. So yeah, thank yous all around.
All right, and I want to thank the two of you for being on the show today. You've been watching the What's Going On. I'm your host, Hugo Fernandez, here on LaGuardia Web Radio, WLGR. And we've been talking with the Faculty Council Stream-a-thon Committee in anticipation of the second annual Faculty Council Stream-a-thon on Thursday, April 28th. What time is it? Does it start, Dr. Riccio?
1 p.m.
And this committee has included our Faculty Council Secretary, Dr. Tara Coleman of the English Department, Dr. Walter Sistrunk of the Education and Language Acquisition Department, and our own Dr. Jamie Riccio of the Humanities Department's and Station Director of LaGuardia Web Radio, co-producer of the Stream-a-thon. Please watch. Please donate generously. In the end, we have a lot of fun doing it, but it's really about the student outcomes and supporting our students, all the work they do. So thanks you for watching and listening. And Mr. Pope, take us out with Mr. Jerry Lewis.